Revit very well and other softwares also. So I'll just give you basic introduction about walls in Revit. So I'm gonna just share my screen. Tell me if it is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So this is basic interface of Revit. As you know or don't know, I'm not sure. But this is the basic interface. And in this, uh, this is Revit 2023. So there might be some of the latest features that we don't have in previous versions of Revit. So using that, I'm gonna explain you basics of walls. So whenever we start our modeling, the first thing we create is wall. So I'm gonna show you how we can create the wall. So basically, do you know how many walls, how many types of wall we have?
Yes,
Anyone knows? Type of wall, types of
basic,
walls.
basic
Yeah.
or structure, basic and architecture or structure, and what another?
Yeah, that's different type. That is, we can just categorize it like that. But if we have three categories of wall, not types. We can say it as a category. So one category is basic wall, as you can see. I just dropped down, and one is basic wall, and there is curtain wall, and third is stacked wall. So three categories of walls. So I have placed all three types of wall in here. So these are all basic wall. So in this, we can have a wall which has only one layer or different layers of wall based on our requirement. So generally in our Indian constructions also, whenever we construct the house, so what layers we have? The brick layer, the plaster, and then gypsum board, gypsum layer, right? So those are
Hmm.
three layers. So similarly, we have different layers depending on our purpose. That for what purpose I want this wall. For example, if I want this wall as a soundproof wall, then I use a air layer in the wall. If we have layer of air, which will act as a soundproof wall. Okay. So based on our purpose, we have different wall, but those all walls are under basic wall. So these are basic wall, and these are then the next category is curtain wall. So curtain wall is basically glass wall. So under curtain wall, I'll just show you this in 3D. Where is our wall? Okay. So this is a curtain wall. So curtain wall comes with different component. If we see, we have this grid lines. So adjusting this grid line, we can adjust these blocks. So we cannot have, whenever we construct a curtain wall, we cannot have a single glass for like very high height or width, because we that is not how we construct the curtain wall generally. So we have a type in this which says empty, which will give a warning to delete the grid lines that we have in this wall. I'll just say okay. And this is an empty curtain wall. So in this, I can add grid, I can add mullions, and as per my requirement, whichever I want, I can do that. Other than that, we do have an exterior wall and then storefront. So this all have different components such as mullions and grid lines. So is it okay?
Yeah,
Okay. So in this, I'll show you how we create the curtain wall. I'm just explaining you the category. So this is one category of curtain wall, and then we have third type of wall, which is stacked wall, that we can see here. So in stacked wall, if we can see that we have different three components. Here we have a footing, then a plinth-like wall, and then the wall which is above from floor level. So this tagged wall comes with different components varying from the height. At base, it will be different, like footing, and then it will have some structural material, and then at upside it will be simple wall, the basic wall. So these are three types of walls. I'll show you. I'll just show you by creating a simple wall in this. So using this, if I drop down, I have this much categories. So this icon is similar to this icon. That means if I simply just click on this icon, I automatically get to create the architectural wall. Okay. So I'll drop it down and I can see that there is architectural wall, there is structural wall, and there is wall by phase. This is massing option that we'll see in later phase, that how we work on massing. And there is sweep and reveal. I'll show you this also in later phase. So basically two walls. So if we focus only on architectural for now, I'll click on the architectural wall. I get to see this options in this. So this says starting level of my wall. I'm drawing this wall in 3D. So if I go in any floor plan level, it will automatically pick that floor plan. So I cannot see that option now. It's directly height that is showing. So there is depth and there is height. So I'll pick height for me, and then I want what is the top height of my wall. So I'll just say level 1. So these are the constraints of my walls. So if I start creating this wall, I just draw one wall. Okay. So I'll show you properties of this wall. So this is the property panel, and these are the floor plans. Uh, we can say project browser. So I can see all the floor plans in this. And if I select any object, I see every property of that element in here in the left side. Okay. So I can see that when I selected wall, the first thing is location line. I'll explain you this later. This is base constraint. So from what level I want to start my wall, at what level I want to place my wall. So I said level 1, this is base offset. So from that level 1, if I do -1, -1 fit. So if I see in 3D, this is my wall. So this wall is currently at -1 level, from -1 fit from level 1. So this is base constraint. So sometimes I want my level not to be exactly at level 0. I want that to be some height up or down like this. So I can control this using base offset. And then there is top constraint, like up to which point I want this wall. So I selected that I want my top constraint should be level 1. So that's why the wall stopped at level 1. If I want it to go up, I'll just change my top constraint, whichever amount I want. Okay. And then that is about the wall. And if I go in the floor plan again, I select the wall, and whenever I want to create the similar element in the Revit, similar object or element, sorry. So I just click CS on my keyboard, create similar. So I just did that shortcut. Or if you want to create a new wall, fresh wall, so I'll just click WA. WA is a shortcut for wall. If you just hover over the icons, you can see the shortcut keys also. Wall WA. So I just press WA, and there is chain option. So if I click on this option, I can create wall like this, and like this continuously. And if I turn this option off, there is no chaining, no chain action. So it will stop here. I cannot create continuously the wall. So that's the difference. And then, for example, I have to create a wall, and in my property boundary is this. This is my property line, for example. I have created as a floor for now. Consider it as a property line. I want to create a wall on the boundary. So what I'll do, I'll just create a wall. And for example, if my location line is this, and I started creating a wall, so my wall will be like this. Okay. But I don't want this wall like this. So in that case, based on our use, we'll just change the location line. So this is the location line. When we start creating the wall, using which axis do you want to create the wall? So I'll just say I want to create the wall finish face exterior. Okay. Yeah. Finish face exterior. So when I create the wall, yeah, any wall like this. So right now it is picking the finish face of the wall. So if I want this to be my aligning level, so in that case, I'll have to, this is also not working. So what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll change my finish layer. I can show that to you later, but what we'll do for now, I'll select different wall like this. All this wall will work. That was the footing wall. So that did not work there. So what I'll do, this is the wall. And if I create it newly, now this is picking the right alignment. So like that. But I don't want to go up to here. I'll just stop here and I'll just create a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Oh, I don't want it like this. What I'll do, I'll just press a space bar. Space bar will, for any element in Revit, be it door or wall or any element, they have a flip line, flip axis. So if I just press a space bar, that will uh, that will flip it by the axis. So I want it like this. So I just place some fragments of wall. Now what I'll do, I want to join all this wall. So I'll just go and modify, and we have this option, trim and extend. The keyboard shortcut is TR. So I'll just click there, select this wall, select this wall, then we'll select this wall and this wall up to this wall. We just have some overlapping walls here. So I'm gonna remove those. So this is how we can create the walls. So this is the walls are created. And then after that, we covered this thing, and I'll show you this also. This is the updated feature, and in the previous version, we don't have this feature. So I'll show you this also. The structural. So for now, the structural checkbox is off. That means the wall is acting only as an architectural component. If I click this on, then structural people, whenever the structural people will do analysis of the building, this wall also will act as a structural component. So for now, I just click this off and consider that my building is a frame structure. Frame structure meaning the load will be carried only by beams and columns to the footing, and the wall will act as a partition member only. So for now, we have this wall as an architectural wall. Okay. And then if I go in 3D, for example, and I create a roof, I create a roof in here for now. So I want my offset to be 6 inch, 6 inch. Yeah, like that. And I just create a roof, and then I go to 3D. Okay, so it already picked the level 1. So if I want this to be at 5 feet, and now my condition is like this. So many times we'll have the wall which are not attaching to the top. So we'll have this gap. So wall comes with the feature where we can attach the wall to the base and to the top. So I'll just select this wall. I'll just move my mouse on this wall and press tab. Using this, by this, I can select multiple wall. I just press the tab and then select all the wall. And then I have this option, attach top base. So I'll just select this and I'll attach my wall to this. So this way we can attach the wall to the roof. Okay. Then again I'll go to level 0 and now I want to create the opening to the wall. So I can create the opening using tool feature. I'll just go here and it says split element. This split elements works as if I want to cut the wall. So here and here. So my wall is split into two parts now. I just cut the wall. So I'll just delete this. And if I can see, the opening is created. This is one option. And then next is this. Whenever we select the wall, we get the option wall opening. I select this and I can drag this opening, like this, whichever width I want. So if we see in 3D, the difference between both is this. We can adjust the width and height of this opening like this. And this is also the opening created, but till the top, no wall is there. So this is how we can create the opening. Okay. Any doubts until now?
Anyone have doubt, you can ask.
No, sir.
Don't be hesitant. Like you can ask whatever the
Okay.
level you want.
So clear to everyone this?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
this is how we create openings and control the wall. Now, if I want to, okay, I'll just create a new wall. No problem. I'll create any new wall. For example, select a wall. We don't have any generic wall having single layer. So in this, so I'll just use pick any wall. Um, any wall. Okay. So I just created this wall and I'll just, this is section box. So if we select any element and just BX this, we get to see that element only. So I don't want this shape of the wall. So I want to edit the profile of the wall. So we have this option. So we can create any shape that we want. So I'll just go to edit profile and what I'll do, we just make this a smaller first. And then I don't want it to be strict. I want it to be architecturally different. Okay. So we have this options, these are the drawing tools. Using any one, I can create any required shape I want. So you just select this arc, start point, end point, and there is control point at the mid. So I want it like this. So I'll create it like this. And then if I want to create the opening like this, and might be like this, but we cannot have the overlapping line. Okay, if I click on finish, it says try to always read the warnings. Whenever any warning comes, try to read that. What does that say? So it says lines cannot intersect each other. The highlighted lines currently intersect. I won't say quit sketching. I'll say continue. Okay. So I can see that these lines are intersecting each other in walls. In any editing tool, if we have this pink line, we cannot have intersecting wall ever. In not in roof, not in floor, not in walls. So I'll just do this. I'll just trim it like this, and then I'll say okay. So I got this shape. So we can have any shape that we want using this. What I did, I uh, I went I used that line to drag here after I went in editing tool. That's why I can see this line. So I just drag it here. So this is how we can create complex shape of the wall like we want using this edit profile feature. Okay. And there, whenever we work on edit profile, we see the reset profile option. If I can see, okay, I don't want this shape. I want my walls to be like it was. So what I'll do, I'll select and I say reset profile. I don't want anything. So I just reset the profile. So like that, you can reset the floors, you can reset the roof. So anything. So this is how we create the uh, profile based walls. Okay. So clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So this covers all the basics of walls. Now we'll have some advanced option. So now if I take this wall and go in 3D. So I have this wall vertically. So previously, in previous versions, we could not have the slanted wall. For example, if I want the wall, it should be architecturally little bit slanted. I don't want a vertical wall, for example. So for any purpose, I don't want it to be straight, like vertically straight. I want it to be little slanted. So we could not do that in previous Revit version, but we can do it now. So what I'll do, we have this option, cross section definition. So I'll just drop it down and I'll say slanted. And I got this control point here and the angle. If I change the angle simply, so I say 5 degree, my wall tilted by 5 degree. So this is how we can tilt the wall. Or I have this control point. I can do this by manually. Okay. So we didn't have this option previously. So I can have a tilted wall. So like that. And then again, the third option, we can have the tapered wall. What is tapered wall? Tapered wall means it won't have same width over the top and the bottom. So if we have the thickness, we will see thickness. We'll say thickness for now. So this is thickness of wall here, and this is here. So what I'll do, I don't want the thickness. I want more thickness at the bottom. So what I'll do, I just okay. So this is saying angles for the tapered wall are controlled by the wall type. So I got these two options: create an instance override and cancel. For now, I'll just cancel and I'll see why we are getting this option. So I just decrease the height of wall. No. Okay. Now we can do it, I guess. Yes. So it said enable angle overrides. So when I checked it on, we could have the different thickness of wall like this. So whenever we want walls to be tapered, we can do it in latest version of Revit. It wasn't possible in previous versions. We could only have the wall with same thickness throughout the height. Okay. So we can have the slanted wall and tapered wall in this. So this is all about the walls, basics of walls and all the types. So anyone has any doubt in this?
No.
So everything is clear?
Yes.
Okay then. So these are the basics of walls, we can say. We have now say how many categories of walls we have? Categories
Hmm.
of walls. 3 walls categories. So basic wall, stacked wall, curtain wall, always basics walls. So in general construction, we do not use this walls. We rarely use this walls. In our project, I do use this wall. So this walls have variable height and fixed height. If I select on complete component for now, I just select the whole wall. I just go in edit type, and if I see in here, it will say this is the variable height and these are the fixed height. So at bottom is footing. So footing is of this much height, 11 inches. And then the wall, the foundation wall, and then there is this wall, and the upper wall has variable height. So whenever I'll change the height of wall, this will stay constant and this upper wall will get changed because this is variable height. So like that, we work on the wall. For example, I want this wall height, this layer to be continued until level 1. So what I'll need to do, I'll just go in edit type and I'll change this values. When I'll change this values, then I'll I can have that wall up to top. So that's it. I can select this elements individually also. If I click on tab, I can select the footing, go in edit type and select its values independently and similarly like this. And together this will act as a stacked wall, uh, little complex component than a basic wall. So that's it. And about curtain wall, we can have the openings in curtain walls and the components and the grid lines, all that things. We have this. This is curtain system, curtain grid, and booleans. So these all things combinedly create the curtain wall. Okay, so this is the wall and this curtain walls component. So that's it about the walls. Also, when I drop it down, I could say architectural wall and structural wall. So this is our architecture tab. So if I drop it down, so we get to choose the architectural and structural. If I go in structure tab, for example, structure tab, I have wall option in here also. So if I drop it down here also, I can select architectural wall and structural wall. That means whenever I'm working in architectural, I may want to use the structural wall. So using that option, I can create the structural wall. Or if I'm working in structure, sorry, if I'm working in structure, but I don't want my walls to be structured. So then I'll just create the architectural wall. Architectural wall means it
Uh,
won't carry any load. That's it.
Twinkle, sorry to interrupt you. You can take a small question for student as well also,
Yeah,
because
okay.
so
Yeah, I'm done. Huh.
so you can take question as well, and then you can continue for this topic again.
Yeah, please. If anyone have any question, they can ask me.
Indu, you can ask. You have lot of question.
Okay, sir.
जो भी समझ में आ रहा है पूछो उसके बारे में, कोई ऐसा नहीं है. You can ask.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
please ask the doubts.
How to create the stacked walls, ma'am? Like this, you are already created that.
Yeah, how to create the stacked walls. So we do
Yeah.
not generally create the stacked wall. For example, if you ask me how to create the basic wall, we do not create any wall from the scratch. If I open any template, I just get these walls. So for now, consider that we don't have these walls. I don't have any stacked wall, for example. So what I will do, this will get this tab, stacked wall. If I have any one type of wall, so if I have only this wall, I'll just go in edit type and then I can select different type of walls from here. Whatever walls we have, wall types that are preloaded in the project, already loaded in the project. So if I choose any of the wall, any of the element from here and any of the element from here and using like whichever height I want, I can create this. For example, yeah, if I am not familiar with all these types, so I'll just select any type and we'll see. See, this is also one type of stacked wall. So that's it.
Okay.
Stacked wall is anything which has different component, different walls over the height. So this is one type of stacked wall. If I don't want this height, if I want to reduce the height, I just go in edit type again and then edit and then I'll change this height. The bottom height is always fixed and upper height is always variable. So I'll just
Okay.
select I'll just say that I want it to be 5. We'll see like this. So this is how we do create. Generally, we do not create the stacked wall. We already have the stacked wall in the project. We just adjust them. We
We
do not
just place
create
it
it.
on a site.
Yeah, we just adjust. If I have this wall, I need to do some adjustment in this. I don't want to create it from the scratch. I'll just place the wall and I'll control the height, I'll control the thickness, I'll control the material also. I don't want it to be brick. I want it to be stone, like structural material at the base, stone. So I'll just change that. So we can have the adjustment in the wall. We do not need to create them from the scratch because we have preloaded walls. For example, no one can say that how do we create the wall from the scratch, because we have certain types of wall that are already preloaded in the project. So that's
Okay.
it. We can, for example, in this, these are all basic wall. I cannot see the layers in 3D, but if we go in floor plan, we can we can see the layers, sorry. So these are the layers of basic wall. So if I do not want any layer of the wall, I just go in edit type, and we have we have 8 layers in here. So except this two, we do not count this. This separates the walls from the finish, the structural part and non-structural part. So this is the structure part, which will cover, which will bear all the structural load if I click on this option, right? Currently it's not structural. So this is the core material, which is carrying all the load. And then this is thermal layer means air infiltration barrier, which prevents the noise from the outside.
Sound
That's why we
insulation
use
system. Sound
what?
insulation. Sound
Yeah,
insulation.
exactly, sound insulation. So for the sound insulation, we use the thermal/air layer. And these are the finished material. For example, the gypsum board, the render, and the paint is also one of finished material. So we can have the wall. So always there will be finished material at the exterior faces. So the exterior finished material is plaster here, and this is interior face of the wall. So in interior face, we have this much of the layer, and the last most layer is of paint. So we can change the material from, we have the whole material library loaded in the Revit with us. So we can change it to any material that we want. That's it. So you can play with the layers. I don't want, if I don't want this layer, I just select this from here, and I'll just say, okay, I don't want this layer, I just delete it. That's it. Simple. So this is how if I want one more layer, I'll just insert it. And then I'll just say if this layer should be structural or substrate or the finish layer. These are the categories that which type of layer we want. So substrate, thermal layer, finish layer, membrane layer. Membrane means, can anyone tell me what is membrane layer? Membrane.
Like
We learned that.
paint or
Paint.
or
Waterproofing.
POP,
Maybe it will be.
waterproofing.
Yes. Damp
There
proof
is a no thickness.
membrane
There is
layer.
a no thickness, but need a what
Yes.
Need the finish. Is a
schedule
required.
for a cut. Yes.
For example, membrane. We learned about membrane in our college also. That membrane layer. What does membrane layer do? That membrane layer will prevent any damping, any water leakage if we have in the slab or in the wall, right? So that will prevent the seepage to come inside, so that we can see as a membrane layer.
Membrane
So
layer.
that's it. Yeah. So that's it. That's the membrane layer. So we do not have membrane layer in this wall, and the requirement is like we have to have the membrane layer in our project. Then I'll just create this. Then I'll just have the membrane layer. So what this will do, if the seepage comes, this will go inside the plaster. This will go inside the structural, this core layer. This will go in a thermal layer also. I don't know if this sequence is correct. If I think that no, this should not be here. What I want
This
this
will be
below the
on the
thermal layer.
last. Yeah. This will
On
be
the last,
after finish. After finish.
after finish, the
Yeah,
membrane layer.
this one is the last layer.
Are you sure? For example, if I want to use the DPC, damp proof course, right? The damp proof course is a liquid. So
No,
whenever
but
we,
membrane layer doesn't have the thickness.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why it will come
Okay.
in the last.
Yeah, we'll confirm this later.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure about the membrane layer, but I can if I okay. So wherever I want this layer, I can just control this by clicking up and down. I want this to be down. I'll just do this down, like in the last. If you say if we want it in the last, we'll do it in the last, and then this is how we can have the membrane layer that will prevent water to go inside. For now, we'll have the membrane layer here, and that's it. We can have the thickness of it, whatever we want. If I have want it to be 1 inch or something, we can have it like that. But it says membrane layer function requires zero thickness. Okay, got it. I did not use this, but membrane layer does not have any thickness. Someone said it correctly. So that means I tried to change the thickness of this membrane layer, but it's not allowing me to change the thickness. That means membrane layer does not have any thickness. That's it. I just create okay. I just say okay. That's it. So this is how we can create or adjust the labels also for walls. Okay. Any
Okay.
question in that?
No.
Okay. So today we covered the walls only, the basics of walls. And in next class we can have the user interface, and I'll just introduce to every tab and everything in later.
Right, right. So
Okay.
don't have any question. If you anyone, Muhammad, name anyone, Adib, Akshay, Hindu.
No, sir.
No, a fantastic
Today
lecture
just like
for your
yesterday.
side,
Yeah.
Twinkle. Very fantastic. You are
Yeah.
explaining the wall types of walls and new plugins of Revit as well. The new features in 2023. Yesterday we studied about the 23 new options like Hindu you are asking yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
So these are the new topics, like new features are
Yeah.
there that Twinkle
Yes.
explaining you very well.
Yeah, we can cover it in the class also. That what are the new features that Revit 2023 has. So I can
Okay.
explain that also. So this is one
Right.
of the new feature, and we have some other features also. We can discuss that also. We did not have much to explain in the walls, so that's it. And you can
Yeah.
ask any type of doubt that you have related to wall or related to anything.
Anything about you can ask like
Yeah.
beam, like walls, like Revit, anything. If you have any questions regarding, because Twinkle have much experience in this architecture field, they have very professional in this field. So if you're asking right now, this is good for you. Right, you can ask him, ask her.
What
Ma'am,
is
one
the
is the
difference?
हाँ,
Yeah.
ask कविता बोलो कविता बोलो.
अच्छा, what is the difference between structural wall and the architectural wall?
Yeah. Okay. So if I just select this wall, and for now my structural option is off. That means this wall is only acting as an architectural wall. So generally in modern construction, whenever we construct the house, we create the footing, then the column, right? And then
Yeah.
walls and beams. So generally, whenever load comes on the building, the load comes like it comes first on the slab, then the load of slab carried by beams, and then beams by the column, and then it goes to the footing. So the structural members in the building are column, beam,
Okay.
slab, and footing. All the members which carries the load. That means structural members. For example, in a generally whenever we design the house, we first create the architectural plan, right? We'll just create the plan which have wall only. Okay, then that plan will go to structural. That means that person will see, okay, this is the height, this much number of floor are in this building. For example, 10 floors. 10 floors are in the building. then that structural person will decide that thickness of the column, size of the column. Okay, so this is should be the size of column that should make the building safer. So these are the structural members which actually carries the load. So in our building, we have two types of structure when we studied in the college. One is load bearing structure and one is framed structure. So all our modern constructions are created using framed structure.
Okay.
That means wall won't carry any load. The load from the slab will directly been carried to beams and then beam through column, not on the walls. But if my building is like carrying much more load that needs to be carried by wall also, for example, then I'll just click on this option, and now this wall will also carry the load. So structural means this wall is carrying the load, and architectural means this wall is acting as a partition purpose. That's it. So whenever if I click this on, this wall is structural wall now, and structural wall, what does structural wall do? We have this. If I do go in visibility graphics, we have this analytical model categories, right? So whenever we analyze the model, we have the analyze tab in here also. So whenever we'll analyze the structural model, then we'll have this wall also, the analysis of this wall also, because this wall is also carrying the load. So that is the difference between structural wall and architectural wall. Architectural wall won't be considered while doing analysis. So only structural member. Got it? Okay. Yeah. Anything else? We can also do the rebarring in our structural wall. But that
The
is
difference
structural part.
between the architecture and structure.
Difference between architecture and structure.
No. That is the difference. You are saying that we will add the rebarring in the structure wall.
Yeah.
So I think wrap up for this session. If anyone have asked any question now for 1 minute, I think already we have almost 1 hour complete.
Yeah.
I think don't have any question right now. So Twinkle, nice lecture, absolutely fantastic. So to wrap up for the today's session, and we'll let you know, and we'll discuss things more.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
so finally, so thank you guys for joining us, and thank you
Thank you.
Twinkle for
Yeah.
giving us time for the easiest time.
No, it's okay. Someone is raising the hand. Okay, that's you.
No,
Okay.
it's
Then.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, thank you so much. And okay, now we wrap
Thank
up
you,
for this
everyone.
session. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye.
Bye bye.